The Vikings got stomped on prime time, and second-year quarterback out of Michigan, J.J. McCarthy, second ever start. Just, man, he looked so bad. And there are very valid excuses for why he did. The offensive line was absolutely pitiful. I mean, it was just fucking atrocious. It's only the guy's second start in his entire career. There's probably some nerves. You know, he isn't the most physically talented guy in the world, so, you know, maybe the play calling wasn't the greatest as well. But I'm not going to buy in the whole, okay, well, it's just poor coaching thing, because Kevin O'Connell literally last year was the coach of the year. People saying it's bad coaching are just trying to deflect blame to others because the quarterback just didn't play well. Listen, once again, the line was horrible. But as the quarterback, you've got to come to the realization that the ball's going to come out fucking hot. You've got to throw the ball quick. It's the NFL. You're not going to have... Listen, he played at Michigan with the best offensive line in the country, where he had 30 seconds to fucking throw on every play. And we're wondering why it looks like, you know, he's not making the right decisions sometimes, why he's throwing into coverage, why he doesn't look great. There's a big adjustment, you know, and plus his first year he didn't get on the field. He did sort of learn and observe the offense, so, you know, he should be well versed in this offense because he's had over a year to learn it, right? So he's not had too much time to practice it. He's had enough time to practice it to where he should at least be looking somewhat competent, but other than maybe two decent throws, one of them to a wide open player, down the field, maybe two decent throws the whole game. Everything was underneath or erratic. And that's not what you want to see. His mobility is good from what I'm seeing. He can get out of the pocket. It's just the fact that he stands there for, you know, an elongated period of time and takes hits. Ask Joe Burrow, you know, what is taking hits continually over the course of, you know, your career do for your health? Joe Burrow's hurt. He's out for 3 months now. And that fucking team's got to start Jake Browning or fucking somebody. They might as well, I don't even know, they might as well try to get fucking Andy Dalton back or something. That team is fucked. But regardless of that, man, J.J. McCarthy he's got a pea shooter arm. And listen, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, he threw a 61 mile per hour registered, you know, official pass at the NFL Combine. Listen, passing velocity on your passes does not equate to distance on throws. I can train my arm for over 2 years to throw as hard as I can. That does not mean that I can throw the ball far. A lot of people would make that same sort of same correlation that, oh, you know, he's got a strong arm because he can throw it really fast, right? And by the way, it's at the Combine. You're not wearing pads. You're wearing shorts. You're wearing a fucking cut-off shirt. There's no pressure. There's no pass rush. There's no play call. There's no crowd. There's nothing. You're just throwing it at a wall and getting a fucking number. That doesn't mean you have a strong arm. Anybody can go at that fucking event and ball the fuck out if they train that hard enough and long enough. So that means nothing. This kid's arm is pea shooter. It's fucking cream puff. He cannot stretch the ball. I'm an idiot. He can't stretch the field, is what I'm trying to say. He missed a Jalen Naylor wide open on a touchdown. And, you know, that actually was a decent throw. You know, I thought his arm was totally cream puff, but, you know, maybe it's only slightly, it's still pea shooter, let's be honest. I guess we'll make differences. Cream puff is like you have like a don't even fucking bother starting this guy arm. But with McCarthy, it's pea shooter. Pea shooter being weak, but it's like you can work with it. It's a pea shooter fucking arm. And people, once again, are going to come in my comments and say, oh, he's got a really strong arm. Didn't you see, you know, at Michigan? No, I didn't see it at Michigan because he was handing it off to fucking Blake Corum 36 times a game and throwing it 4 times a game. He did not get enough live reps. And I know, you know, once again, a lot of people are going to say, oh, well, Mr. Truth, this seems to be a bit of an overreaction, right? A lot of people would say that's what my channel is based on. But from what I've seen in the 2 games, this is what I've seen in these 2 games. This is what I've seen that he's put on the film. His accuracy's not as good as advertised. He seems a bit jittery. Under pressure, forget about it. There's no point, right? Like he's not any good under pressure because he doesn't have many live game reps, you know, under heavy duress. In his football career, he has not been pressured much. At Michigan, he was never pressured. In high school, he probably was never fucking pressured because he probably played for a really good fucking high school team. So this kid's never had any sort of adversity in his life, and this is the first time he's facing some at the NFL level. And we're seeing that he's getting a heavy dose of reality. And quite simply put, right now, I just don't think the guy's very good. I don't think he's even passable as a quarterback right now. And the Vikings, they have Carson Wentz who's sitting on the bench. And obviously Carson Wentz is trash. So there's no point in putting him in the game. Maybe you try to get Kirk Cousins back, but make sure that Atlanta, pays him the majority of his contract, because you don't want to be paying Kirk Cousins that much fucking money because, he's not your long-term quarterback after all. But a couple other things that I saw from McCarthy. I haven't even mentioned this yet. I mean, he's got a turnover problem, man. He fumbles the ball three times a game. He's throwing interceptions. He's throwing into crowds. He should have had 3 interceptions today. Billy Bowman should have came down with that second one. But unfortunately, he didn't. Billy Bowman looked great today, other than he got burnt on one play. But that's the only negative play he was sort of involved in. Bowman looks great. And Bowman was the beneficiary today of J.J. McCarthy's just overall poor play. I mean, he just takes way too many sacks. He's not very accurate, folks. And his processing is okay. It can be slow at times, but it's adequate. You can work with someone who can process like that, right? So it's not like he's awful when it comes to processing. He's not the worst in the world. It's just he's not the best. He's about slightly below average for an NFL quarterback. And once again, you can work with that because at least he can get through progressions. At least he can make the full field reads, right? The problem becomes that, you can't teach him how to, stop throwing picks, right? If he's going to throw picks, well, fuck it, man. He's going to throw picks. That's just who he's going to be. And there's not really much you can do to change that. You could call a very conservative game, but he's going to find those tight passing windows and going to try to I think he throws it into the traffic because he thinks he has a stronger arm than he really does. He thinks that he can get away with it because he's because of the tendencies he developed in college, and you can see they're sort of not translating over into the pros. And that's my problem with most of these quarterbacks that come out of college now, is you can tell these are hard, ingrained tendencies into these quarterbacks to where they force passes, and there's not really much of a fix for that, right? And McCarthy just seems like one of those dudes who's destined to be a guy who's just going to force it to guys who aren't open. And the fact that I guarantee you, when you go back and watch, I guarantee you when the All-22 releases, you're going to see Justin Jefferson wide open on like fucking 16 fucking different plays, and he's not even looking in his direction. I'm not saying he should force it to Jefferson every single play. I'm saying he should look at Jefferson. And a lot of times he didn't have the time to look at Jefferson, but he has to know that the ball has to come out fucking hot. He doesn't understand that. The thing is, the ball flutters in the air with him, man. I know he had a couple decent little sideline throws, but let's be real. Those guys were open. He should make those throws. Those are very sort of average throws for any quarterback in the league. It's nothing that's going to knock your socks off. Overall, I mean, if I would have to give him a grade, 0 out of 10 for these first 2 games, it's like a fucking 2. Like he does not look like a starter, and he's 22, and this is he's basically a rookie. Let's be honest, getting his first live game reps, and I understand the importance to get him reps, to get him playing in the game, but he's literally cost your team the game. Like honestly, he is the reason why the Vikings lost this game. One of the main reasons, his inability to play, really, just to play. His mobility was good, but there were times he was just standing there like a sitting duck, and you can't do that in the NFL. This isn't college where you can stand in the same place for fucking 6 seconds because your line is a bunch of fucking world beaters. And he's got to learn that eventually. Seems like he hasn't learned that yet, and you have to hope, if you're a Vikings fan, that over time this kid's going to develop good tendencies, but that's never a guarantee in the NFL. To me, he seems like a guy who's always going to have 2 or 3 tendencies that come back to bite him, whether it be turnover, taking sacks, his accuracy not always being on point. He's going to have at least a couple of those, and you're going to have to try to work around that, and you're going to have to try to live with that. And I don't know if you try to live with that. I'm not saying move off of him after 2 games. I'm just saying he doesn't look good right now. And he needs some guidance. And once again, a lot of people say, oh, well, Kevin O'Connell didn't call a great game. I agree, he didn't call a great game. The line wasn't blocking, right? It was really poor pass protection. They couldn't really establish the running game, right? They had no running game. But you can't just say, oh, Kevin O'Connell is a shit coach and he won Coach of the Year. You can't just walk back everything that history has said. Because I think he's a decent coach. I don't think he's a crazy good coach. I don't think he, was Coach of the Year material. But he is an NFL coach. All right, I will say that about him. He is the coach of an NFL fucking team. I know I sound like Booger McFarland when I say that, or like I sound sarcastic. I kind of am. But he's a coach. I think he's a decent one. He's nothing too crazy. He's got good play calls usually. He seems to get the most out of the quarterbacks he coaches. I don't know how much this guy's going to get out of this kid because he doesn't seem like he doesn't seem like he's destined to be good, at least right now. Thank you all for watching. This has been Mr. Truth, and this was nothing but the truth.